All right, you guys, it's a slappy, man. I had made a purchase the other day for my F6B. If anybody's not familiar, I have a 2012 full gold wing, and this is a 2013 F6B. On my 2012, I went with the full traction suspension, front and the back, uh, probably about 3 years ago. Best thing I ever could have done was put that in there. Me and old Bobo Strick, rest in peace, installed that. So when this bike got to acting crazy or showing some characteristics of my 2012 Gold Wing was doing, bottoming out, front end hitting hard, I went with progressive. The front spring and the back spring. Well, for the effort of doing all that, I really should have went traction. This does not ride like my Gold Wing, and that's what I'm chasing now. So I think I'm gonna leave the progressive in the front, but I'm gonna do traction in the back. And there's a few guys that went with me on this trip that had full traction suspension, and speed is one of them. Let's give him a call and see what he thought about it.
It's Slappy's Adventures.
That's Slappy Adventures.
Is it?
Oh, it's Slappy's Adventures.
On three, Slappy Adventure. 1, 2, 3. Slappy Adventure.
Hello.
Speed.
Yes, sir.
Man, this is Slappy. You on here with Slappy Adventures. You live, dog. You live.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I was just telling them that I was just purchased the rear shock and spring and everything that goes along with it from Traction.
Excellent.
And,
Excellent.
and I wanted them to hear your story about what made you go to Traction and how you did it, when you did it, and what you thought about it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Oh, well, once I got my Gold Wing, I watched a bunch of videos, and I had known about him before. I did business with Max McAllister before. I got some suspension work done for my BMW. I had one of those GS adventure bikes, and they did a great job. And so anyway, I wanted to get that for the Gold Wing. I knew I was going to be doing a lot of road trips. I knew I was going to be riding a lot more often on this thing because I was retiring. And then I hooked up with you, man, and with the Alaska trip, I was just like, it's a done deal. So I rode down there, and I made an appointment with them. I rode down there, and they did it on a Friday. I was in first thing in the morning. I think I was out of there just after lunch.
Wow.
And I rode the thing home, man, and it wasn't cheap, but I knew that going into it, and I went with the Mega Money. I got the whole thing, everything, the front suspension, the fork braces, everything.
The Mega Money.
Yeah, the triple trees and the neck bearings and everything.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so I got the Mega Money, and no regrets, man. No regrets at all. I think that entire that we were on that trip, it's money in the bank, man. The way I look at it, if you're going to be serious about putting on some miles, you can't go wrong. I think I love the fact that it's a made in America. They stand behind their product. They make all of their product, and you can't go wrong. You get what you pay for, man.
I agree. I'll stop you when you're lying, bro, because we put them to the test on that damn Alaska trip. You hear me?
Absolutely, brother. There was 3 of us that had traction dynamics, right?
Right, correct. And now, me and Triple D, we put ours in ourselves, and you got the full Mega Money, so I could just imagine how yours was, man. But as you can see, when I hit them curves, man, I'm on the rail.
Yeah. The only, not really a regret. I'm searching for a better word, but the only thing I wish I kind of would have been able to do differently is right when I got this Gold Wing, I did the traction dynamics. You and I both did the double dark side, We both did the central. What were they called? The centromatic wheel balancers.
Right.
So I never really got to rack up a bunch of miles on the stock Goldwing. I did all these changes at the same time, and it's great. I love it, but it's not like I did the suspension and then, oh wow, what a difference, and then doing the double dark siding and noticing the difference. You know what I mean? Like we did all those things kind of at the same time, and so you didn't get to see the progression of making it a little better, a little better, a little better. It was just all at once, you know.
Well, in my opinion, you did the right thing. Just come out of the bag and just get it done where you ain't got to be running in and out of these shops and all that kind of stuff, because the Goldwing rode good until it started failing, and then it started beating me up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. I said, man, what's going on? And I tell you what, as soon as I got back home and I rode the L6B to work, like I said, I got progressive all the way through it. Man, it felt like I went from riding a Cadillac to a lawnmower.
You could feel the difference.
I said, man, ain't no way in the world I could take his. If I'm a keep his bike, I got to put traction in the back. So I called Dan, and I emailed him, and he hit me back. I said, look, Dan, I got to ask for your forgiveness. He said, for what? I said, I daggone went with progressive, and I turned my back on you. I said, I'm coming back home, baby. I said, I need traction bad.
But that wasn't so much a choice that you made. That was kind of that's kind of like the poker hand you got dealt. Weren't they having a supply issue or something like that forced you?
Well, that on the front. And they had for the front it was a supply issue, but the back they had it.
Right. Okay.
But I'm going with hell, I'm just gonna change the spring, boom, boom, boom. And I should have known better. Change the shock, the spring, and be through with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for the amount of work that we had to do to put that damn thing in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I told Charlie Bezai, he said, go ahead and order the damn thing, and we'll put it in sometime, when it comes in. So it should be here tomorrow.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. I told Dan, I said I was gonna give you a call and get your intake on there. So how'd you feel about the whole trip and the whole? Cause you was pulling the trailer for the first time, Goldwing for the first time, and all that.
Yeah. How about it, man? I tell you what, dude, I was super impressed with the way that the Goldwing handled, and you know what? That's another thing. It's not only, the reason to step up to the plate and pay a little extra and get the traction dynamics. It's not only just so it's a plush ride. I mean, it also gives you way better suspension going into turns, coming out of turns, holding a steady line in a long sweeper. Dude, how many times did we go into a long sweeper turn, and in the middle of that turn, you're hitting bumps?
Yeah.
If you didn't have the suspension, I know for a fact, because there was a bunch of times we were going into turns pretty aggressively, towing the trailers too, and going into those bumps, and I know I was reacting to how I thought the bike was going to react versus how the bike was acting. You know what I mean? Like I was a little gun shy on a couple of them because you're just so used to having a bike, like the big Harley, my Harley bagger, having that thing. I know how it's going to react, so I'm kind of expecting that. And then you're on this Goldwing with the traction dynamic suspension. It's just like it just motors through it. It's like, wow, okay, I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And, so it's kind of cool. It's like, wow, it just keeps reassuring you that you could ride a little more aggressive, a little more, not out of control, but just a little more than you would have before.
Yeah.
And it's a nice feeling because I think that this suspension not only makes the bike perform better, but it's smoother.
Yeah.
It's better on the tires. It's better for braking. You don't feel that nose diving into a turn and stuff. It's just, there's a lot of reasons to do it. I mean,
and you ain't wore out.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's not beating you up as much. That's absolutely right. So it's not only a fun thing, but it's a confidence-inspiring thing and a safety thing and a health thing.
Well, I can really tell as you As the weeks went by, you started getting more confident, leaning off of them curves, especially coming off a Beartooth Pass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got busy with that one.
Yeah, that was fun. I will say that was pretty cool. That was fun. Yeah.
So tell everybody what year bike you got and whatever else you want to tell them.
Well, I'll tell you what, Slap. Are you just doing this for Traction Dynamics, or are you giving a little bit of a shout out to other people too?
And other people too.
Okay, well, let me say one thing, bro. So the seat, I don't know if I showed you that. So anyway, I stepped up and I bought an Ultimate seat.
Yeah.
And from Ultimate, they're out of Florida, and love it. They threw it back for me. I mean, we're both tall. This thing threw me back about 1.5 inches and raised it 1/2 inch, so it made it much more comfortable for me. But during the middle of the trip, I noticed on the left-hand part of the seat, where your left butt cheek could be, there was a huge, big wrinkle, like 7 or 8 inches long and about 1 inch across. It was a big wrinkle. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it when I get home. So, shout out and a half to Ultimate Seats, man. I talked to a lady. She couldn't have been more of a sweetheart. She said, email us a couple pictures. So I took some pictures. My wife emailed them to him. The next morning, I got a phone call from Dean, D-E-A-N, Dean Marchetti. He said, is your address still the same as when you ordered the seat? I said, yeah. He said, okay, cool. I already have one going to ship out to you, a brand new seat.
Wow.
I didn't even have to ask. Yeah, thank you. I didn't even have to ask him for it, man. You talk about stepping up to the plate. He sent me a brand new seat, and the only thing he asked me to do was put the seat back in the box, the old one, and bring it to a FedEx place. Shipping label, everything was included, man. I mean, you can't ask for better than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was super impressed, man. I thought for sure I would have to pay for them to fix it or pay for the shipping, whatever. Man, they did everything. They took care of me, and they said that they would take care of me, and they came through. And I'll tell you what, in today's climate, that's pretty cool to find a company that actually does stand up and do what they say they'll do.
Oh man, that's awesome, Paul.
So yeah, that made my day, man. So shout out to Ultimate Seats, man. They are definitely a quality product made in USA, and I mean, the miles we put onto Alaska, man.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have a for real seat, man. So,
yeah. I got a hardcore seat, and I've had it for probably about 4 or 5 years, and I've sat on it, slid my leg across it, dragged my foot across it. I got a rip here and there, and I called them up and I said, "Are y'all coming to the Eagle Wings thing in Knoxville, September the 1st?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, I'm pretty sure y'all not gonna be doing seats, but can I just bring my seat to y'all, and y'all take it back and do your thing to it, and ship it out to us, back to me?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, you do that." He said, "I put some more foam in it, cover it up real good, however you want it, ship it back to you. They gonna charge me for it because I've had it for 4 or 5 years, but they're not gonna gonna bust my head open."
Right.
I'm like, man, cool, please, man. And I'm thinking about getting one for my F6B.
Yeah.
Because I got a Corbin on here, and I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with hardcore and let them make me a seat for my Corbin, because I'm thinking about taking this to Daytona for Biketoberfest.
Yeah.
I still plan on going to that. Would you gonna try to make it?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know my schedule. I'm trying to move into this new house right now, and it's just time is not something I have a lot of right now.
Hey, you retired. You ain't got nothing but time.
I know, brother, but it's a lot of back and forth, man. It's it's about an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
And it's just time consuming, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying before, I have a 2010 Goldwing.
My name's Kevin. I have a 2010 Goldwing, and trip so far has been awesome, man.
And she's just got I think 34,000 miles on it now after the trip.
Oh, yeah, I got 94.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it takes it, man. I mean, we beat up on them damn bikes. You hear me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
did you ever get yours started back up?
You know what? I did. Okay, so I've tried a couple things, the fuses, and it's not working. So I called my local dealership and I explained to him what's going on, and he thinks it's the starter solenoid.
Okay.
So he didn't have any in stock, so he's going to order me one. He ordered me one today, and I'll pick it up when I get back from. We're leaving to go up to the UP again. So when I get back, I'll pick it up and I'll try that. But yeah, I was working on my 2 dirt bikes today, getting them ready for the trip, and it's busy, man. Just constantly doing stuff.
Just retired and enjoying it.
What's that?
You just retired and enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. So we have 2 KTM dirt bikes, and I got both of them all squared away and ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna leave Saturday morning and throw these things in the trailer, and we'll have some fun up north.
I heard that.
Yeah, do some fishing, have a couple bonfires, and relax, brother.
I living life. Hey, you guys, this is Kevin, a.k.a. Speed, from Illinois, and he was one of the ones with me on my Alaska trip. That's my first time meeting him, but I call him my brother now. You can go anywhere with me. He was a joy to be around.
Hey man, you knew I was your true brother when we were standing in that ice cold water that it just got done melting off the mountain. And I looked at you and smiled and dove in head first. You knew I was your brother right then, didn't you?
I said, hey, that's a brother from another mother right there.
That was fun, man. That was cool.
But, bro, I'm going to let you go do your thing, man. But I'll be keeping in touch with you.
You got it, brother. Call me anytime for anything. You know that.
All right, simple, bro.
All right, see ya.
Right. That was my boy Speed, you guys, from Illinois. Real good people, man. Met him for the first time on this trip. I talked to him for about 3 or 4 months prior to the trip, but actually met him, rode 3 weeks with him. You all right guy with me, dog. All right, you guys. That is a Traxion. What would you call that? Testimony. I don't know. Anyway, we headed to the house. Peace.
Speed and I survived Slappy's adventure to Alaska.